Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about electric vehicles because they're just not all that popular. We keep getting told by the media and other places that EVs are the future and that everyone loves them and this and that, and well, the data does not support it, and we're going to go over the data in today's video. Before we get into it though, as always, if you're going to save time and money, the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. And then if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Let's get into it. We are going to start things off by going over a report that was released by Kelley Blue Book. This report basically shows the level of interest in hybrid vehicles and electric vehicles as well. Kelley Blue Book obviously needs to closely follow these trends to see what people are looking into purchasing. Now they also take into account people that actually purchase these vehicles as well. So this just again shows the overall interest in these vehicles, and that's why they call it the consideration trend is what this chart is called. So here's the little chart that they have released, and I'll quickly go over the numbers with you, but basically again this shows the interest in these vehicles. So overall interest in hybrid vehicles and electric vehicles combined peaked out at about 25%, and that was in 2021, and it's actually been slowly declining since then. Like right now it's at 24% for overall interest. And if we go back historically, well at least back to 2018, interest in electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles combined was at about 15%. Hybrid vehicles was right above 10%, and then electric vehicles was under 5%. Now, you guys saw with the graph how it kind of slowly squiggles up together, and what this shows is as electric vehicles become more popular, hybrid vehicles also become more popular. It seems like there's this narrative that electric vehicles are taking over hybrid vehicles, and it's like, no, both of those markets increase at the same rate. And again, this graph shows that both those markets decrease at the same rate. And what this shows is that, again, at the peak, interest in hybrid vehicles was just under 20%, whereas in electric vehicles, it was right around about 12-ish% in terms of peak interest. And again, now with electric vehicles, it's down to 9%, and with hybrid vehicles, it's down to 18%. So what this shows is that there's more interest in hybrid vehicles than there is in fully electric vehicles. And we saw peak interest over the course of the pandemic when everyone felt rich, and now that we are in a market where people don't feel rich anymore because there's not free money being given out by the government, interest in both of these categories has actually pulled back. It's pulled back more substantially on electric vehicles. If you actually look at the graph, again, the downtrend of interest with electric vehicles is far sharper than with hybrid vehicles. And the next data set that shows this trend, I feel like very, very clearly, is going to be the ranking of interest within vehicles that are in the electrified world, so both hybrid vehicles and electric vehicles. So there was a recent ranking that had several fully electric vehicles in it, and I'll show you guys a little chart right here. So this is not the current ranking, this was a recent one. And you guys can see that RAV4 CR-V hybrids, those are number 1 and 2. Tesla Model 3 was number 3. The Ford F-150 Lightning was number 8. And the Chevy Bolt was number 10. Again, this is interest level in terms of researching with these vehicles. Now, the RAV4 and the CR-V are still number 1 and 2. Toyota Camry is Toyota Highlander rather is number 3. Camry is number 6. Lexus RX is number 9. Prius is number 10. And then you've got the Accord, which is number 5. So we've got way more hybrids that are in the top 10 in terms of interest with this. Chevy Bolt number 4, so that one's actually moved up on the chart. The Tesla Model 3 is now at number 7 on the chart, and guess what? The F-150 Lightning has been completely kicked off of the chart. And so what this chart shows is that if you look at individual models, the electric vehicles are being pushed back. Like there's less interest with electric vehicles and there's more interest with the hybrid vehicles. So in summary, interest with hybrids and EVs is currently on the decline, which actually makes sense because the overall car market is currently declining. Like there's just not a lot of interest in buying a new car right now because of how expensive new cars are. However, the interest decline with EVs is far sharper than the decline that we're seeing with hybrids, which means that there are far fewer people that are interested in EVs today than were the same time last year or even a year before that. And again, this is a trend that I have been talking about time and time again, because when I go out in the world and review cars, I find that there are more and more EVs that are sitting on dealer lots that are not selling, and dealers are telling me that even if they discount them, they can't get rid of the vehicles because people just aren't interested. And when I post reviews on my main channel, if it is a hybrid, I get a lot of views. If it's a regular ICE car, I get a lot of views. If I review an EV, it is so hard for me to get views. Like, there are so many times where I go in to review an EV and I'm like, man, I don't know if I really want to do this because like it's probably going to cost me money after I take into account travel costs and, you know, my time to film the video and edit the video and all that. And so again, I've been saying that this is the trend anecdotally, and now the data supports this trend. And so, you know, with, again, the media and other, you know, people telling us that EVs are the future, I just don't think that's reality. I think what reality is the EV market will always be a niche market. Yes, it will continue to grow, but it won't be the car market. The car market will most certainly always contain hybrid vehicles. Yes, it'll have more EV vehicles, and yes, there is a potential that, you know, just regular ICE cars will be completely phased out because we'll just have hybrids and EVs. I think that is more realistic than thinking that the whole market's just going to be electric vehicles. Let me know what you guys think about this trend, and let me know if you were considering an EV last year and if you're no longer considering an EV, and why are you no longer considering an EV. See ya.